Hey everybody, it's your girl Amanda coming back to you all just like I promised. If you didn't get a chance to watch my welcome home little short 4 or 5 minute video kind of explaining that I am coming back, I'm coming in with some new content, please go give that a listen. And as always, if you are not subscribed, you're going to be missing out because I'm going to kind of be bridging between Spotify and carrying over to my YouTube channel as well. My goals are to kind of get more consistent and working with both a little bit. I did go live on the Book of Faces app the other day. Just kind of a, hey, I'm working from home, I'm outside, come hang out with me. Just kind of did a little test, and I think it went well. I had some folks pop in and say hello, just to kind of show my face and kind of get used to going live because this is uncomfortable for me. I'm going to be so for real. Being to where you guys can see me is totally different than just playing my voice back and having audio only. I have been encouraged to start showing my face, so here I am. I wanted to hop on. And I'm going with my gut, okay? I don't fully think that this is going to be one of my longer episodes, but I think it's a much needed episode because I feel like somebody out there is definitely going to be struggling with today's topic, and that is a case of the Sunday Scaries. Now, at this point, on a Sunday evening, you may be kind of running around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to get a game plan for the week. Kids are home now. Most of you, summer break has been in full swing now for a week, or maybe this is the week your summer break starts. If you work from home, my thoughts are with you because it can be very challenging working from home and having all the kiddos at home with you. So it's all about finding that balance. It's all about basically telling them to be quiet for 6 to 8 hours or however long you work, so that way mom or dad can get some work done, right? And so we don't get in trouble with the powers that be. So, case the Sunday Scaries, what can that look like for you? Number one, you might be feeling an immense heaviness come over you, where you're absolutely dreading the upcoming work week. And it doesn't matter. My background is in the medical field. I work from home as a registered nurse. For those of you that don't know, I do clinical review. But if you are at the bedside or you're not in healthcare and you have another role, maybe you're just dreading it. You're like, how much PTO do I have? Can I call in tomorrow? Can I give myself a 3-day weekend? Can I do that? Because a lot of us just got a 3-day weekend with having Memorial Day off, right? So if you're already kind of looking ahead and you're like, maybe I can squeeze another 3-day weekend out, you might be experiencing a case of the Sundays. Another thing you might see where your mood drastically shifts between Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday everything is kind of cool. You're at home, you're getting things done, you are kind of feeling the vibe, or maybe you're catching up on laundry and housework. But nonetheless, you feel the Saturday vibes at home. You might have plans, you may be traveling, everything is good. And then you woke up this morning and you're like, well, shit, this is a new week. That kind of sucks. If you feel that heaviness, if you feel that shift, just that little kind of, I don't want to do this, but I gotta pay bills, that's valid. Like, we've all been there, okay? And before anybody comes at me, this is just a little disclaimer. If you follow me for a little bit and you're like, well, Amanda, you work from home, you wouldn't know what the Sunday Scaries are. Believe me, I used to very much stay in the Sunday Scaries mindset, working at the bedside for all the years that I did. So I put in my time, I paid my dues. You're not going to come in my inbox and you're not going to steal my joy because, quite frankly, as I've discussed in my previous podcast episode, the work from home one, I worked my ass off to get where I'm at today. I manifested, I prayed about it, I researched, I studied the job market, and I changed the way that I was interviewing, and I changed my resume. Some of you all are still going to trickle in and say, well, I've been trying to get a remote job for months now. You're not doing it long enough. Or there's something that needs some fine tuning that you haven't caught on to yet. And also, if you're waiting for these corporations and these companies to call you, you're just waiting around and you're not doing follow-up, and you're not studying how to interview and you're not studying how to change your resume, you can't get mad. Just like I've heard in the fitness industry for years. You can't get mad for not getting the outcome for the work that you didn't put in. Okay? So that's my little spiel. Don't come in my inbox and tell me I don't know anything about the Sunday Scaries. I had the Sunday Scaries for years to the point where it was debilitating at times. So I've been there. You could also find that you're losing motivation. So say your Sunday or your Saturday and your Sunday does roll around and you're like, well, I have all these things I wanted to get done this weekend. Saturday rolls around and you're like, I'm not doing a damn thing today. I feel awful. The week wiped me out. It drained me. I had back-to-back meetings. I had errands I had to run on my lunch break. I had, which if you work in healthcare, lunch break is almost laughable because in the hospital, it seems like these days the flex is working through your lunch break or not being offered a lunch break, right? So that's a problem. I could do a whole other episode on that, but your weekend comes around and you're like, well, great, I don't have to hit the clock. I don't have to do my commute and get stuck in traffic and lay on my horn and flip somebody off. Like, it's good, right? Well, Saturday morning rolls around and you're like, I'm not doing anything. Like, all the things, all the feelings you start to get geared up for on Thursday where you're like, the weekend's coming, I see relief in sight, I can get some rest, I can sleep in, and then when that weekend hits, that Saturday rolls around, your alarm maybe doesn't go off, but you're so in tuned to your body waking up early at said time, you're like, oh, well, I gotta wake up. But I really don't want to do the things that I said I was going to do when Thursday and Friday rolled around, right? I'm not going to take on that project. I'm not going to clean out the shed. I'm not going to wash the car. Like, all that motivation has just left you. Kind of leaving you empty, kind of leaving you frustrated. So if you notice that you lose motivation when the weekend rolls around, when it seems like that should be your time to amp up and be productive and get things done, you probably have a case of the Sunday Scaries, okay? This is another one. So you don't have the motivation, you feel like crap, you're in your head, you're like almost not looking forward to the weekend because you know the weekend's going to be so short-lived. And all the joy and all the fun and all the rest kind of takes a back seat because you get sucked into maybe job searching. Maybe you're to the point, and I have been there a few times, you're to the point where the laundry, the dishes, the car wash, the shed cleaning, all that crap has to wait because I'm going to sit down and dedicate time to finding a new job. I dislike my job so much to the point where I'm going to start looking again. Okay, maybe you did a search a while back and you got frustrated because of the lack of efforts and there wasn't anything happening and there were no calls and no emails and no interviews. So you were just like, F it, I'm done. Maybe I'm just going to stay at this job, right? That's another sign. When you start hitting up the Indeed and the ZipRecruiter and the Google and you start asking other people in a similar field, how to get into doing what you're doing, or you see it on the Book of Faces app all the time, looking for full-time work in whatever city you're in. We're in Arkansas here, so the job market isn't the best. I'm just going to be so for real right now. I don't have numbers. I don't have statistics because that's just one more thing that I would have to keep up with, but I will tell you that it's not great. It's not great. And a lot of you have come to me with questions before about the remote workforce, and you're like, it's hard, Amanda. I can't get in. I can't get interviews. It's very competitive. That is why it's hard. They're not going to let just anybody. They're not going to ship equipment. They're not going to put just anybody on the payroll. They're going to make you go through it, and they're going to be very particular, and you're going to go through a vetting process before you get an interview. So if you come at me, like I said, and you say, I've been doing this for months, nothing's happening, I'm just giving up. There are no good remote work-from-home jobs. There are, and they're out there. As I've said before, you're probably not being patient enough, and you're probably not putting in, if I'm being honest, like kind of start getting real with yourself. You're not being patient, and you're probably not doing the work you need to do. Now, on the caveat to that is, though, yes, there are a lot of scammy jobs out there. There are a lot of illegitimate, is that a word? I think illegitimate is a word. That kind of shocks me a little bit because I'm usually pretty good with my vocabulary. I almost want to look it up. But there's a lot of bullshit jobs out there that aren't what they claim to be, and they are not marketing their company well, and their talent team and their HR and recruiting departments are not doing what they're supposed to do and go through the applications and do the things. So I've had people come to me and say, now Amanda, I've been trying, and I did change my resume, and I did change how I interviewed, and the jobs are just not out there. They're out there, I promise. If something is not working, you have to change, or you have to make changes, and you have to be persistent and consistent with it, okay? But if you find yourself on a Saturday or Sunday and you're scrolling, you got your phone in front of you, and you're looking for other jobs, you probably have a case of the Sunday Scaries, okay? The other thing that may be happening with the Sunday Scaries situation is you may find yourself calling in, or playing scenarios in your head of calling in. You start coming up with, you kind of tell yourself stories. Well, I already know how this week's going to go down. I already know I've got back-to-back meetings, and I already know the boss needs this report submitted or needs this project completed, and I don't feel like doing a damn thing. So I'm just going to come down with a stomach bug on Sunday night. We've all done it. We've all been there. Anybody that says that they've never called in because they didn't feel like working, you're a liar. You're lying to yourself. We're all human. We all, and especially if you're in a situation where you don't have a good paid time off scenario, hell yeah, you're going to be trying to find ways to call in. Especially when Sunday rolls around, 4 to 6 in the afternoon and the evening, you're like, man, as I'm trying to plan this week out, it's not looking good. Like, I have a lot of anxiety surrounding what could be happening, and I don't like it. Maybe you've got doctor's appointments you're dreading. Maybe you've got some job interviews. Maybe you did get consistent and persistent with your search, and you have some interviews lined up, and you're scared shitless, and you're like, I haven't interviewed in years. I've been at this same job for 5 to 10 years. I've forgotten how to interview, right? So maybe you've got some reservations about that, and you kind of slowly back out and back away from landing that dream job because you got scared, or you had a case of the Sunday Scaries, and you let that kind of come in and push you away from that. I have heard of that happening. So I'm going to give you the rundown. 5 things to do. And I'm looking at my phone, guys, because I made some notes. I had to make some notes about some things that were coming to my brain. So yes, you can call it a script. Oh, she's reading off a script. It's actually not a script. It's actually notes that I made. I am a note and a list taker. I do better when I can come up with things and either write them down or type them. And I wasn't going to try to do it on here and kind of toggle back and forth and make sure I didn't have like a burger hanging out of my nose while I'm trying to like read these off to you guys. So hate me if you want. I take notes, and that's what I'm reading off. But this come from me like 2 hours ago when I was working on cooking myself something to eat for dinner. So some things you can do. Number 1, you are going to focus on doing only your job this week. And if you're in healthcare, you are going to come at me, I'm fairly certain, and you're going to be like, and I pick on healthcare a lot because that's the industry I'm in. So if it's not healthcare and it doesn't apply to you, it still could very much apply to you, though. But I want you to, you're going to stay in your lane this week. You're going to focus on doing only your job. Only your job. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say if a trash can got knocked over on the floor and trash spilled everywhere, or you might have caused it and you just step over it and walk on. I'm not saying, don't be a shitty human. Like, clean the trash up, do the right thing. I don't mean get in the mentality of it's not my job. But at the same time, there are going to be some things that's going to come along and bounce along. You're going to have to be like, am I qualified to do that? Is that something that's within my scope to do? And is that something that's in my job description? Now, you have to be careful with that because some job descriptions will actually have and other duties as assigned, and that's where they can get you on some stuff. So kind of keep that in mind. But what I mean by that is don't sign up for extra projects this week, okay? Don't sign up for extra committees. Don't sign up for extra meetings unless it has to do with your performance, your evaluation, or strictly pertaining to something that concerns you and the role that you do in your company, okay? don't be Miss Debbie Dogood that volunteers for everything, right? You're not going to build the company's cookbook. You're not going to sign up and do like all the shopping for the break room. Like, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if somebody's like, hey, can we get a volunteer? Like I said, don't be a shitty human. If it's something simple, use your judgment, right? I think we're kind of getting away from our judgment and our common sense a little bit. When it comes to being a good human, let's be good humans. Don't be an asshole. But, like, I mean, as far as the things that go above and beyond and already would wear you down and wear you out, don't do that. You're not going to do that this week. Stay in your lane, do your job, and punch the clock. Punch in when you're supposed to, punch out when you're supposed to. Which brings me to my next point, and this kind of flows into that. No is a complete sentence, you all. In 2026, at the age of 37, I am learning no is a complete damn sentence. And I did not coin that phrase. I have obviously seen that on social media and TikTok and all the things, but no is enough. Somebody ask you something? No. Stop over-explaining your role and stop over-explaining your place in where you think you are with people and situations. No. You want to go out to lunch? No. I don't. I think part of being in the Debbie Do-Good system and the going in the above and beyond, that's part of why we are in the burnout phase we are. We've stopped saying no. We've said yes. We've all become yes men and yes women. Okay? No is a complete sentence. No can be enough. And if it's not enough for people, depending on where you are in the job setting, you have to be a little more tactful and respectful, obviously, because let's be honest, we have bills to pay. We have things we're trying to take care of, and we don't want to burn any bridges, certainly. But in other settings, in your personal life, in your family life, no is a complete damn sentence. And I can't unhear that in my head. I heard that somewhere. And I was like, oh, that's powerful. And I have had to use that a couple times, and it's like, I really do feel better with just saying no. Most of the time I say nope. I'm a no person. The other thing, in case of the Sunday Scaries comes along, Sunday does roll around, and you're already like in it, and let's say you didn't get shit done on Saturday, and Sunday rolls around, you're very much in your head, and you're like, I need to rest. I want you to give yourself permission. Rest for the rest of the evening. Rest even tomorrow. So this is probably going to come out later than I had anticipated. I wasn't going to do this today at all, but I felt called and felt compelled to get on here while I had some thoughts fresh in my brain. But the rest of the day, the rest of the evening, give yourself permission to rest and digest. You're like, Mandy, you don't know my home life. You don't know my family life. You don't know what I got going on. Da-da-da-da-da. I don't. I don't know what everybody has going on at any given time, but what I do know is, from personal experience, from dealing with other people that have experienced burnout, in a case of the Sunday Scaries, your body keeps score. That's a book too, by the way. That's not my phrase. The body remembers, the body keeps score. Your body is going to send you signals and let you know you need to sit the hell down somewhere. Like, seriously, go lay down and take a nap. Go get in the bathtub for 30 minutes. Like, rest and digest. Give your body, give your brain time. You might need, and this is really sad, you might actually need a full Saturday, Sunday combo just to gear up for the next week. Now, if it gets to that phase with your job and your workplace and other circumstances, you really do need to dig a little bit deeper and do some soul searching and be like, okay, is this really where I need to be in life? If I'm having to take all weekend just to rest and recoup, and I cry myself to sleep on Sunday night because I'm scared to death to go to work on Monday, I don't know what's waiting for me, we got another issue at hand, and resting and taking naps is not going to fix that, if I'm being totally honest. The final thing I've got, make a to-do list. So right now we have it's a board in our kitchen, and it's just got the days of the week. We're not a fan of it, but it kind of works for us right now. We're actually putting back some funds to get I think it's called a skylight board. That is something that is on our wish list. A skylight board, it's like Central Hub, Central Station. It's got, you can do appointments, you can do a grocery list, um, just different things. It's like a huge electronic calendar looking thing, and that's actually on our wish list and something that we're excited to get and bring into our house. But for right now, we're doing marker board. It works for right now, so it's fine. Go in there and put your meals. Go in there and put, hey, I think Tuesday night we're going to do tater tot casserole. Friday night we're going to do pizza. Sometimes just seeing your week laid out like that will kind of alleviate some of the anxiety you have in other parts of your life. So for example, and you put your appointment up there, doctor's appointment on Thursday at 2 o'clock. You see you have meals already planned for at least 2 days a week. You see you have an appointment for 1 day a week. Monday rolls around, you don't have a lot going on, cool. That might be a day when you get off of work, you can go for a 20-30 minute walk. Wednesday, you don't have a lot going on. That might be a night you and the family just get together and have a movie night in the living room. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes that can kind of take the stress and the burden off of one part of your life to kind of make room for other things. So that way you have an outlet, you have a way to deal with when Sunday rolls around again and you're terrified of the week ahead. So sometimes to-do lists, they help keep you organized, but also you can kind of see some wins. And as your week progresses and you're seeing the days go, you're like, oh, okay, we did remember that appointment. We did remember so-and-so's soccer game. Like, sometimes a list just does something and gives back to your brain, which in turn kind of helps your body a little bit, right? So I say all that just to say, like, please don't think that I'm sitting here giving out this advice and telling you what to do like I haven't been there. I have been there, you guys. I promise you, I have been there to the point where I said that if I didn't find this job last year, if I didn't get away from the bedside, I was going to leave nursing for good. So Tuesday of this week is actually going to be my 1-year job anniversary, which is kind of cool. I cannot believe I've been at this job for a year. That's so wild to me. But before that, I literally told myself, if you don't find something, because I knew I wanted to work remotely, I knew I wanted to go back home. If I can't find something and if it's not in the cards for me, I'm getting out of nursing altogether. I'm literally going to start looking at non-nursing roles. That's where I was at. I felt the depression. I felt the anxiety. And it spilled over into my marriage. It spilled over into my family life. I became a different person. I lost my way spiritually, right? So just know I've been there. So before you judge and come at me, well, you work from home, what could you possibly have to say? I have a lot that I can say. I come from experience. I come from knowing that feeling that sometimes it can be more than the Sunday Scaries. It can be more like I feel myself slowly dying and pulling away. I feel myself becoming not the wife, not the mom, not the daughter, not the person that I need to be. Like, I have felt that. I have been there. So I can come at it from a place of love and understanding. So I want you guys to implement that. I want you guys to take those 5 takeaways, those things that I said. Make your list. Stay in your lane and do your job. Use no as a complete sentence. And moreover, just honor your body. Really listen to what your brain is telling your body. What does your body need? Especially when you're in your head on a Sunday night and you're like, God, I gotta do this again. Remember what I said. Remember these words. Play this back over and over and over again until it sticks. I'm not going to promise you that that's going to make your job situation get better. I'm not going to promise you that you are going to land that remote work from home dream job, or maybe it's not remote, maybe it is a front-facing job. I'm not going to sit here and promise you, if you do these things, it's bound to happen. There's some other things that have to happen along the way too. But it all starts with making tiny changes. When we start making tiny changes in one part of our life and we start seeing a little bit of growth and a little bit of shift happen, sometimes there's other parts and other places in our life that can happen too. That's all I got, and I actually went longer than I planned to, but I just felt like this was tugging at me today, and I'm trying to get better at getting away from the perfection mindset and getting away from the, well, I don't have it all together and I don't have this. I'm trying to focus on what I do have, and what I do have is experience and wisdom. What I do have is a heart that feels called to serve and called to help others. And if I can just reach one person, you guys, get in here, get on YouTube, get on Spotify, share it. If you're like, oh my God, I know who needs this, please share it with them. That's what I'm trying to do. Just one person. If I get one person that just says, hey, this helped me, or this resonated a lot with me, I appreciate you talking about it with me, just know that I'm here. I see you, I feel you, I've been there. That being said, I'm going to end this. I want you all to have a beautiful and blessed week. And take care of yourself. Until next time.